Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Toshi millionaires are about to be made, and in this video I'm going to give you the specific price target where we will see the majority of these Toshi millionaires printed, and also some Toshi investors and traders that will be worth over $100,000 or more, right? So I'm going to give you the specific target in this video, but first we have to address the elephant in the room. There are some people that are concerned about being dumped on, right? You'll see it in the previous comments, saying that, people want to dump their bags, etc. But think about it logically. If somebody's invested early in Toshi, right? So they've invested early, maybe a few $1,000s, maybe tens of $1,000s, maybe $100,000, it doesn't matter, right? And they're up, let's say, a 20x on their investment, or maybe they're up a 10x, or they've hit that $1 million threshold or 100,000 threshold. Why wouldn't they take profit? Think about it logically. The whole point in investing is to make money. So the people that are worried about being dumped on per se, it just means you don't have a profit taking strategy or exit strategy mapped out. And you assume that everybody is going to have the exact same mentality as you, where you just hold on for dear life. For example, at the start of the year, where we saw price go up over a 17x in 1 month. So for perspective, $1,000 makes you over $17,000. Well, if somebody's put in $10,000 and they're now up over 170K in less than 1 month, why wouldn't they take profit, wait for price to dip, price sells off, as it did, by 90%, buy back in and repeat the process? That's what the majority of Toshi investors and traders, or the ones that have a game plan, will be doing. And I'm actually one of the only people updating on Toshi that's letting you know what the professionals are going to be doing before it actually happens. So don't worry about being dumped on. Of course, we are going to see profit taking targets just like we did at the start of the year. People take profit, people recycle capital. But the question is, will price bounce back? And that has to be your concern or focus. Don't worry about, obviously you have to think about prices where people will sell, because that will drive price down. But the main focus is, once the sell-off does occur and price does sell off by 90% or 80%, will price recover? And we're going to talk about that in this video as well. But I just had to address that because a lot of people think that, this is monopoly money and people don't want to buy boats, big houses, etc. People do want to do these things. But let's move on. Now, as you guys can see, Toshi is now breaking out, right? Starting to move to the upside. And once again, if you were subscribed to my channel last week, or even in April or at the start of the year, well, guess what? You are up significantly in profit so far by buying at the lows. You'll notice my buy calls I've been giving out have been at the market bottom. If you missed out on this, it means you're not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on another major Toshi update or more, right? So as you can see, Toshi's getting ready to break out now. In the last video yesterday, I gave you guys price targets. This video, I'm just going to focus on where we're going to see that significant cash out, where we're going to see a lot of people in the community make millions. So number one, we have to focus on the people that bought at the start of the year. We're not even going to go back to 2024. We're going to focus on the people that have been buying since the start of the year and are holding their positions. Now, so far, these individuals are up a 4x. So again, we'll just work with $1,000. $1,000, they're up $4,000. $10,000, they're up $40,000 so far. Now, once price goes back up to 0.0010088, now they're going to be up over $7,000. Now you will note this is nowhere near $1 million. Even if we were to use a $10,000 example, they're only up $70,000. I say only like it's a small amount, but you get my point. Now, what will happen is there's going to be two types of people that are currently, even the people that bought at the start of the year, they're going to be the first group that are going to want to sell at round numbers. So they're going to wait for, a 10-cent target, 50-cent target, $1 target. And as I've said before, I think this is a mistake. You actually have to focus on realistic targets in the short term if your goal is to cash out, buy back in, and obviously increase your overall percentage gains. Now, I am expecting a major sell-off. Well, not sell-off. I am expecting profit taking to occur once price goes back up to 0.00212616, which would be from where we currently are now. That'll bring us back to all-time highs. And again, the two groups, the first group's up 17x, so they've reclaimed their the profit that they had at the start of the year. So if they bought 10,000, they're up 170k. The second group at this area is going to be up 870%. And then we're going to have the group that are buying now that are going to be up 340%. But again, remember, we're focusing on the first group. Now, where we will see a lot of millionaires created in this community will be, and I gave out this target before, it's kind of a long-term, it's not really a long-term target because I think we could hit this a lot quicker than anticipated from where we currently are now. It would only be a 5x, and that would bring us to 0.00360729, right? That's a 5x from this current price area. But for the people that bought at the start of the year, they're going to be up a 30x from this point. Now, the reason why this is a very important area to keep a very close eye on is because this is where, even if you bought with as little as $10,000, and again, I haven't even included dollar cost average positions, etc., but this will all compound. We're just talking about one position. And as you know, many people in the community have several positions, but just off one position at this low, $10,000, you're up over $300,000, and that's with one position. Now, ultimately, at this stage, we may see a brief pullback. Of course, if the market does have a sharp move to the upside, a 5x or 4x, we will see a slight sell-off, but then we could see a significant pump from here. And now, obviously, that's going to depend on Bitcoin, the broader market, etc. In fact, for those of you that haven't done so already, make sure you join my free Telegram group using the link in my description. I actually gave out free entries on some meme coins that I'm buying at the moment. I deployed over $20,000 in the market yesterday, and again, you can access those calls for free in my free Telegram group below. Just make sure you have the Telegram app downloaded, otherwise the link will not work, and that link is in my description. And I also have a video in there that shows you how to make 100,000 in 1 month and 16 days, so make sure you check that out. But with that being said, guys, at this area, depending on where the overall market is at, we may only see a brief pullback. And remember, the pullback may not be that deep. It may just be a pullback of around 20%, right? 20% or so, which will bring us, surprise, surprise, back down to this area here at 0.002941119, right? 20% pullback is reasonable. If it's going to be deeper, then it may be around 30%. But what will happen, depending on where Bitcoin is, depending on where the overall macro market is, we will see a continuation to the upside. Because remember, even at this stage, Toshi is still going to be just above $1 billion market cap. So it will still be very much early days for Toshi. And that's a very important factor that you all have to take note of. Toshi at the moment currently has a market cap value of $250 million. So the market cap is still very, very small, right? Very, very small market cap. So at this stage, we're just breaking just slightly above $1 billion. Now, with that being said, we will likely see momentum continue after the pullback. And here's the exciting part. All price needs to do is hit 0.000538221. At that stage, millionaires have been made. Pretty much everybody that bought at the start of the year, and the people, of course, I'm including the people in 2024. They're going to be upset I didn't mention them. The people in 2024, the people that bought at the start of the year, at this stage, loads of millionaires will be printed. And again, the scary part is that just brings price just over a $2 billion market cap or so. So we haven't even entered the even the $4 billion market cap realm. The market cap will still be very, 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 very small. But that is the area where I think we will see significant selling pressure, because ultimately, as much as nobody's going to tell you this but me. I'm one of the most transparent YouTubers out there. And I will tell you, many of these people are going to sell, and they are going to sell aggressively. Why? Because they're simply going to repeat the process. They're going to wait for price to sell off by 95% or 90%, and then they're just going to buy back in to repeat the process. And to be completely transparent with you all, this is what we're doing in our Crypto Crew Premium members and Crypto Crew Premium channel. We're preparing for the major upside move. Now, price may not hit this target. We may sell off before that target. We may sell off after that target. We are allowing our macro indicators, Bitcoin and other factors to anticipate where this 95% sell-off will occur. But we're preparing our members for this so they can capture their gains, wait for price to dip, and then we just buy back in at the lows again. And guess what? Let's say you make 100,000, 200,000, 300, 500,000, whatever, however much it may be. When that 95% sell-off happens, all you need to do is buy back in at the low. Even if price goes up 100% from there, you double whatever you made. Now, if price, let's say, sells off by 90% at this area, let's just say price sells off by 90%. Let's just see what that looks like. Price sells off by 90%. And let's just assume price bounces back and goes back to, it even goes up a 5x from there. We don't even have to go back up to all-time highs, a 5x. Well, guess what? You make, in fact, it's more than that, but we'll just do 5x for the sake of the math. You make a 5x on whatever you made. So imagine making $100,000 and then making a 5x on that afterwards. That's the strategy. That's what the professionals are going to be doing. I'm telling you all this now because, a lot of people are going to say, oh, people have dumped on me. No, you just don't have a game plan. You don't have a strategy, which is why I said months ago, 95% of crypto investors and traders are going to fail because they don't have a game plan. They don't have a strategy. But the good news is you can all get yourself in a community that is working on these strategies. It's preparing for this inevitability. You don't even have to join our community, but make sure you're part of a community. Otherwise, all your hard work will go to waste. So if you want to know when I'm personally going to be taking profit, when I'm going to be exiting the market, when I'm going to be buying back in, what I'm going to be buying, my overall strategy, you want to know what basechain meme coins I'm buying right now, because there's projects that I actually think are going to outperform Toshi and other projects, particularly if you haven't bought at the start of the year or even at some of the lows that we gave out in April. Well, you're still not going to make a 20 to 50x short term, but we have projects that are on the base chain. Join Crypto Crew Premium if you want access to what I just spoke about. Make sure you're part of my free Telegram group because I've actually given out access to free base chain meme coins, free meme coin projects, so you can literally make money there and then join Crypto Crew Premium. Anyway, guys, with that being said, nothing that you see in this video is financial advice. Always make sure to do your own independent research. And until next update, seize the day.